My name is Jay Grymes. I have been with WAFB somewhat amazing 27 years and 20 years as the chief meteorologist. And when I think back on the first days that I was here in the building, boy, this is unbelievable. I really intended when I came here to work a year or two part-time, put a little pocket money in the back, and get out. There was never an intention to become a full-time TV meteorologist. Lots of folks out there know that I came from LSU. In fact, I retired from LSU. I was 20 years with the old war school and served as the state climatologist for 12 of those years. And that was actually how I got into the broadcast angle. I would do stories with WAFB and our other stations here in town, not about the forecast for tomorrow, the next day, but I would talk more about patterns of weather. Why are we in a drought? How long will this rainy spell last? What's the hurricane season looking like for Louisiana? And I guess that I did okay because the news director from WAFB came to me and made me an offer. Even then, I thought maybe I last for 10 years, and here it is, getting close to 30. So, when I look at all the events that I've dealt with Channel 9, obviously the ones that stand out the most are typically related to tropical systems. Most recently, Ida, and going back over the years, the impact of those tropical systems. But still, the one that really even still haunts me today is the August 2016 flood. And a lot of that is because it was relatively unpredictable. And certainly the volume of water that came was absolutely unpredictable. And I remember during the event that we were talking about some serious flooding. But prior to August 2016, the benchmark was the April 1983 flood, and that's what everybody had built and designed for. And so the question was, could this be 83 all over again? And the feeling I had was, it's unlikely it's going to be that serious, but it is going to be a problem. And then this system rolls into South Louisiana, and it sits there for a half a day. One day. Then we're into day 2, and it is still raining cats and dogs. And at this time, we're seeing the impacts everywhere, but more importantly, we're starting to see these rivers take big, big rises. And when it really became almost less of a weather event for me and more of a sociology event was when I started getting calls that afternoon and that evening and that night from people in the community, both just private citizens and some decision makers, some politicians, law enforcement officials, fire departments, telling me these stories that just seemed, actually they seemed improbable, very unlikely. I remember speaking to one lady who's telling me she's getting water in her house, and I'm thinking, there's no way that neighborhood is getting inundated. And in the end, the whole neighborhood was underwater. And during this process of trying to figure out where are we going here, because keep in mind that everyone knows there's never been anything like this. So in trying to anticipate just how much water is going to build up in the area, eventually I reached a point where I thought, okay, you've got to go high. Go higher than you think. And even then, we exceeded that. So I remember specifically talking to Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, and they called me up because the forecast had 15 feet as the crest at Port Vincent. And they were calling me up incredulous that this number was even possible. And I remember speaking to those guys, and at that time Sheriff Jeff Wiley, and saying, that number may be too low, and it actually was. And that gives us a sense of the enormity of the event. And then maybe more impactful than the weather event itself was the aftermath. And that's really what I still think about routinely. And keep in mind, this was 7 years ago, but it is still one of the principal talking points about weather in the Baton Rouge area.
Hi, I'm Johnny Asian. Thank you for checking out the WAFB YouTube channel. Like what you see? Go ahead and subscribe by clicking this box, and you'll get notified when new content is released. Make sure you also download the WAFB 9 News app for breaking news alerts sent right to your phone.